Hello friends, welcome back to the new video lecture of software engineering subject. In today's video lecture, we are going to discuss about evolutionary process models. Till now, we have discussed about SDLC means software development life cycle. Then we have discussed about waterfall model, incremental model, and RAD model. RAD means rapid application development. In incremental model and RAD model, our software, or we can say our product, is delivered into some increments. So now we are discuss about evolutionary process. So that produces an increasingly more complete version of the software with each iteration. Means this will also give a product into iterations. Evolutionary model are iterative. Evolutionary models are mainly three models. First one is prototyping model, second one is spiral model, and third one is concurrent development model. So let's start with our first model, that is prototyping model. So our first question will be that what is meaning of prototype? So a prototype is an early sample or model or release of a product built to test a concept or processes. Means before getting a complete project, we will have a sample, or we can say a model or release of a product that we can test, that is up to the mark or up to the our need or not. So in prototyping model, first phase will be the communication, second phase will be the quick plan, third phase will be the modeling, fourth phase will be the prototype construction, and fifth phase will be the deployment. So here our prototype model is also used same phases which we have discussed into our SDLC, but here main difference is that there will be a quick plan, quick design, prototype construction, and delivery aspect. Means here only construction is not there, here the prototype construction is there, and we have seen that what is meaning of prototype here. Okay, so that serves as a mechanism for identifying software requirements. Prototype can be served as the first system. Quick planning and modeling are required for the prototyping model. Feedback from customer or end user will refine requirement. Means if we deliver our prototype to the customer, then some changes or requirement can be made by the customers. Both customer and development like this paradigm. Means each and every aspect will be discussed after the prototype. Customer or end user get a feel for the actual system. Means with using prototype, they can feel that actual system. Developer get to build something immediately. Now let's discuss that when we can use this prototyping model. So when customer are not sure about the detailed input, output, and requirements. So after the prototype made, that customer can check changes and give requirements to the company. Developer are not sure about the technical feasibility. Advantages: user are actively involved into the development. Errors can be detected much earlier. Disadvantages of prototyping models: incomplete or inadequate problem analysis. Second one will be the customer demand that a few fixes be applied to make a prototype a working product due to the software quality suffers a result. Means after getting the prototype, customer will demand some changes that will be into only in the prototype, can damage a project, or it can be a risky for the whole product. Developer often makes implementation in order to get a prototype working quickly without considering other factors in mind like operating system, programming language, etc. Means if we have already seen that what is meaning of prototype. So prototype can be of anything. It can be a model also. So into the ordering, or we can say into the delivering a quick prototype, developer often misjudge the operating system, programming language, etc. Now our second model is spiral. So this is the figure of spiral model, and you can see there are all phases that we have already discussed into our previous models. Like here our planning phase is there, modeling phase, construction phase, development phase, and communication. So these all five phases are of the SDLC. But only one change will be there, means it will give our complete product by each and every iteration. Means in first iteration communication phase will be there, after it planning will be there, after it modeling will be there, construction will be there, and deployment will be there. In second phase communication will be again there after the first delivery. So it will be into a spiral model, means if we have 5 iteration or 5 increments, then this phase will be of the 5 spiral. Okay, so this is the spiral model. It is divided into set of framework activities defined by the software engineering team. Each framework activity represents one segment of spiral. Using spiral, software developed in a series of evolutionary releases. That is the main important thing. Early iteration release might be on a paper or prototype, means after the one phase. It can be only on a paper or it can be only a prototype. Later iteration will be more complete version of the software. Divided into framework activities CPMCD, means communication, planning, modeling, construction, and deployment. Each activity represents one segment. When to use spiral? When cost and risk evaluation is equal. For medium and high risk project, you can use spiral. Users are unsure of your needs, means if you are not sure about your needs, then you can use spiral model. Requirements are complex. Advantages of spiral: when high amount of risk analysis and avoid of risk is good for large project. So here you can get your differences that we were using waterfall model for only and only small project, but here for the large project we can use our spiral model. Additional functionality can be added at a later stage. Why? Because spiral model gives our project into iterations. So after getting 3 iterations, if we have some additional functionality requirement, then we can add into our 4th iteration. So additional functionality can be added at the later dates. Software is produced early in the software development life cycle, but it can be only on paper or prototype also. Now let's discuss disadvantages. Spiral model can be a costly model. Risk analysis require highly specific expertise. Project success is highly dependent on the risk analysis phase. Doesn't work well for smaller projects. So these are the disadvantages of the spiral. Our next and third model is concurrent development model, that allows a software team to represent iterative and concurrent elements of the any of the process. Modeling activity is in inactive state. It can be into under development state. After the under development state, it can be waiting or under review state. Another state is under revision state. After under review, it will be in a baseline state, and last can be into a done or complete state. So these are the states of your activities. Means if you are in your communication phase, then your communication phase can be inactive, it can be in the development, it can be awaiting changes, it can be under revision, it can be in under review. So these all are the state of your activities. For example, communication activity has completed its first iteration and it is in the awaiting change state. Means if your communication activity is completed, means it is done, then it will be in under the awaiting changing state. Means if user gives some another changes, then that will be into a under development state. If no changes are required, then communication, only communication activity will be the under awaiting changes. If the modeling activity was in inactive state, now makes a transition into the under development state. Means if you have done your communication activity and you have some changes required, then you will have to go for the modeling activity. Means modeling activity was into inactive state when your customer communication activity into the progress. So now your communication activity is in awaiting changes, then your modeling activity will be into under development. Okay. Other example is that if customer indicates some modification into requirement, then modeling activities transitions into awaiting changes state from the under development state. Means if your modeling activity into the process and at that time customers indicate some modification, means at that time if your communication activity starts, then your modeling activity and goes into the awaiting changes state, and after the completing your communication, that your modeling activity go into the under development state. It provides the network of activity instead of considering activities, tasks and action as sequence of events. It gives very clear picture of current state of the function. Okay, so there is three models of evolutionary process. This is it for today's lecture. If you like this video, then like, comment and